On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
After some bold words, Representative Matt Gaetz has answered the naysayers, calling his bluff, and successfully booted Speaker McCarthy from his post. Now that the Republican-controlled House will be temporarily led by Representative Patrick McHenry until they come up with someone to replace McCarthy, you would think McHenry is excited about this newfound moment in the sun as Speaker. But he isn't, based on how he angrily gavelled out the session.
Pursuant to Clause 8B3 of Rule 1, I will now act as Speaker pro tem. The Chair will inform the members of the House the following. The office of the Speaker was rendered vacant pursuant to the adoption of House Resolution 757. In the opinion of the Chair, prior to proceeding to the election of a Speaker, it would be prudent to first recess for the relative caucus and conferences to meet and discuss the path forward. Accordingly, pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the Chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the Chair.
Just calm down, bro. This actually might be your opportunity to show this disjointed party, led by Matt Gaetz, that you can be the man for this job when they figure out who to permanently put in place. But still, let's watch him slam the shit out of this gavel one more time.
The Chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the Chair.
Needless to say, the vast majority of Republicans voted to keep McCarthy in place, but with only a popular vote needed to kick him out, he could only afford to lose a few votes, which of course he did. But it doesn't seem like many conservatives will remember all of those other names, only the guy that led this charge, who triggered it all on late Monday.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House.
The gentleman will state the form of his resolution.
Declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. Resolved that the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives is hereby declared to be vacant.
Have you spoken to President Trump about this?
I have.
And what was his advice to you?
I think I'm going to keep that between the two of us.
Have you talked to Speaker McCarthy?
This plot got a little thicker with Gaetz refusing to share what it was that Trump advised him on regarding this move. And with the threat of being kicked out looming over his head for about the past 8 months, McCarthy went into battle mode immediately by calling for the vote that's on his head, with no guarantee that he'd make it out. Maybe he was tired of the stress of looking over his shoulder, but in his press gaggle to call Gaetz' bluff, he was both confident and ready to concede.
I'm going to bring up the motion to vacate today. We'll do it in the first series and move through this.
What was your decision? Will you still be Speaker of the House by the end of tonight?
You know, if I counted how many times someone wanted to knock me out, I would have been gone a long time ago.
So yes.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about why do it today? I mean, the idea that you
why not
rip the Band-Aid off here, or what?
Why not? You know, look, I think Matt has planned this all along. It didn't matter what we transpired. You know, he would have done it if we were in shutdown or not. I firmly believe it's the right decision to keep government open, to make sure our military is still paid, our border agents are still paid. And if that makes a challenge based upon whether I should be Speaker, I'll take that fight.
So you're calling his bluff?
Yeah. I get politics. I understand where people are. I truly believe, though, the institution of the House. At the end of the day, if you throw a Speaker out that has 99% of their conference, that kept government open, and paid the troops, I think we're in a really bad place for how we're going to run Congress.
So are you expecting Democrats to back you up then?
No, I personally am not.
Do you need their help to remain in leadership?
No. If five Republicans go with Democrats, then I'm out. So it's whether.
Likely.
Probably so.
So at the end of it all, McCarthy lost the support of 8 Republicans, which completely halts the business of the House until they get things figured out regarding his replacement. No more working on funding the government now that a temporary solution was just reached before a Sunday shutdown. And ironically, the investigations into President Biden via Hunter don't have any legs either until this thing is fully resolved, which might actually save Representative Comer and Jim Jordan from regularly embarrassing themselves with flimsy accusations. So maybe they should actually thank Gaetz, but many more Republicans aren't ready for any of these niceties.
First of all, what's your reaction to Congressman Gaetz' move to oust the Speaker? Well, I think he's a petulant child, and I think he proved that this evening by filing his motion to vacate against the rules of the Republican majority conference.
The motion to vacate the speakership is a fool's errand, and I can think of no greater leader than that effort than my colleague from the state of Florida.
He has used, quote unquote, Kevin violating conference rules as his rationale behind filing this motion to vacate. And so obviously it's number one, hypocritical, but duplicitous at best.
How many people who are plotting to destroy our nation got across the border? And yet, today we will spend the people's time so that someone can audition for a television show or possibly the governorship of a state. This is unacceptable, and the time for these antics are over.
You know, I think it just speaks volumes to who Matt is, his character, and the fact that he doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care about governing. He cares about getting attention and notoriety, and whatever his personal petty grievances are with the speaker, and putting that above all other considerations.